What did you miss at Jubilee today? Well, well, you missed singing Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Because isn't that what all churches do on the first Sunday of Advent? Surely we all sing Santa Claus is Coming to Town. But we did. We sang Santa Claus is Coming to Town. And we lit the first Advent candle. And we imagined a time when we wouldn't sit passively waiting for Santa Claus, but we in fact would work at being gifts ourselves, giving of ourselves to each other. We imagined a time when we would come together and not be judged as good, bad, naughty, nice, friend or foe, but in fact could be one community, brothers and sisters, children of God, together. Today we also sent our youth group out. Our youth group have been collecting hats and scarves and Tim Hortons cards and all kinds of warmth and put them in new knapsacks. And they were off this afternoon to go down to the streets in Toronto and meet the people who live there, the ones without homes, the ones who need warmth. And they are going to share those knapsacks. And they're going to look at some of the conditions under which our friends live, visit some of the places, ending up at the Christian Resource Center. It's going to be a spectacular experience for them. I'm sure that it will affect them deeply. And we hope that it has an effect on those that they meet as well. We sent them off with our blessing at the end of the service. And we also heard today in church about a time when swords become plowshares, a time of justice. We heard Jesus speak about a time when two would be working in the field and one would be plucked up. A rather ominous story, actually, about a coming like a thief in the night. We need to be awake and aware. Sounded a little frightening, actually. And so we began to talk about what it is that we are waiting for in Advent. And in fact, remembering the words of Isaiah, Isaiah wasn't preaching to people who were sitting around comfortably. He was talking to people who were rebuilding. And in fact, their salvation wasn't coming as a city that descends from the sky or a temple pre-made. They, in fact, were rebuilding their own city, rebuilding their own temple. And we begin to wonder then, what's Jesus all about? The second coming of Jesus. Is that an event that will come from the sky, descend upon us, and fix everything? Is it something to which we should look forward to with great excitement, or we should be afraid of, we should be awake for? And we begin to wonder if maybe the second coming of Jesus isn't a personal arrival. We know about the first coming of Jesus, but have we had that second coming, the one that's personal, that opens up our hearts, changes our acts into acts of compassion? In fact, the kingdom of God is at hand, but if our hands are in our pockets, we can't really do much. And so the second coming of Jesus is that invitation for us to be active in the world, to bring about change, to change those swords and make them into plowshares, to live ways of justice and compassion. And we also agreed that we hate to wait. But maybe that's the point. We're not supposed to wait for some cosmic second coming. We're supposed to recognize the second coming that happens at any time for any of us, personally, within, powerfully changing us, and in that, changing the world. And then it seemed appropriate that we would also come to the table, where we recognize each other as brothers and sisters. A table that fits nicely in our sanctuary, and yet a table that we imagine is big enough for all of creation to gather. Recognizing that today is World AIDS Day, AIDS awareness, we talked about those that we know and those that we imagine with HIV, AIDS. And we talked about how they are often excluded systemically, but also subtly, that they are the other. Anybody who hurts, anybody with a disease can be the other. And so as we came to the table to share, we recognized the people around us are, well, they are the hurt and the healing. They are the other and they are us. They are friend and foe. They are old and young. The table, in fact, has everybody at it, which can be delightful when you see the people you want to see, but also a little bit challenging when we look across the table and see somebody that we thought we would never see, that we hoped we would never see, either because they frighten us or because they make us sad. Quite a table that God invites us to. And so we came to that table, we shared that meal, and we went forth. It really was a spectacular way to begin Advent, to begin December. The only thing that might have made it better is if you'd been able to join us. So we hope we get to see you next week or soon. God bless.